2 months down the line, Chioma drugged Ugo and got him to sleep with her, as he had refused to touch her all this while. A few weeks later, Chioma discovered that she was pregnant. She immediately broke the news to Ugo, who was surprised as well as excited. He started seeing Chioma differently from then on. He would care for her when she was feeling weak and down due to pregnancy. 9 months later, Chioma put to bed a bouncing baby twin girls. She was so excited and relieved, thinking to herself, so I have finally balanced well in this family. This was because a woman without child is considered to be standing on one leg in her husband's house and not fully accepted until she gives birth. Ugo's joy knew no bounds. Finally, the gods have decided to bring joy and happiness to his household again. He named the girls Isioma and Okwoma. The twins grew up to follow their mother's wicked nature and evil ways of treating Adamma. Adamma took them as their younger sibling, even though they did not show any regard or respect for her. They would tease her and call her Adanjo, meaning the opposite of Adamma, and even send her on errands while their mom stood and watched and even threatened to deal with Adamma if she dared to disobey. Isioma, one of the twins, was a very badly behaved child. She stole things and lied a lot, while her mother always covered it up. Adamma always got beat up for things she knew nothing about because Isioma would always place blames on her to cover up her evil. Adamma would cry her eyes out every night, beckoning her mother to come to her aid as she was already fed up and tired. One day, Chioma experienced a very dreadful incident in the market. She was busy buying some clothes and beads from a vendor in the market when one pregnant market woman began to scream, "Thief! Onyoshi! They have stolen my earnings from today! Hey, Chimo!" Mama Kosi, the pregnant woman, kept screaming and shouting on top of her voice, and she attracted a lot of crowd, and people started asking her what the issue was. She explained that she kept her money collecting container in her shop and stepped out not too far away to buy food as she was very hungry. On getting back to her shop, she could not find her Igbo again. She had searched everywhere and even asked her neighbors, and nobody agreed to have seen anybody enter her shop, let alone carry something. Everyone in the market was shocked and felt pity for Mama Kosi. However, the woman was not having it at all. She sat on the floor and packed some sand in her 2 hands, raising it up to the sky. She exclaimed, "Ajana! Ajana! Ajana! Expose whoever stole my money and let your thunder strike down that person immediately." The crowd shuddered. Ajana was a very powerful, vindicative god of Anando that fought the battles of powerless, innocent humans. The villagers had been warned to not call it in vain or for useless issues. In fact, he had killed someone in the past for calling it just to know if it worked. As a result of this, most of the Anando people had resorted to not calling it at all in order to be on the safe side. As the woman shouted with all emotion, the crowd of villagers shuddered and dispersed in fear. In less than 5 minutes, the weather changed. as if he wanted to rain, and thunder started striking. It struck for 3 times, and at the 3rd strike, a young boy, the son of Mama Kosi's neighbor, let out a sharp moan and fell on the floor. People rushed to him, and he started confessing about how he saw where Mama Kosi kept her Igbo and took the opportunity to steal it. Immediately after confessing, he dropped dead. It was a very quiet and mournful day in Anando. Everyone went home with different versions of the story in their mouth. Chioma was not left out. Immediately she got home, she called Isioma and Okwoma and narrated the entire incident to them, warning them sternly to be very careful and to stop taking people's things without their permissions, as this was the first time she had seen Ajana at work. This one incident had proved to the entire village that Ajana was not just a myth, and that it was still very much active and only answered innocent people. Chioma called only Isioma and Okwoma to warn them. She did not want Adamma to learn about this Ajana's powers and how it was used. But unknown to her, Adamma was eavesdropping and heard every single detail of the story. Adamma had toughened up over the years and was growing into a very wise, resilient and smart girl like her dead mother, Chizoba. She listened when Chioma was advising her kids, took the good ones and threw the bad ones away. On the other hand, the twins did not listen to any of their mother's advices except the very evil ones that indulged them. A few months down the line, Chioma sent Adamma to the market to buy some items for the house, and Isioma insisted on going with her. At the market, Adamma told Isioma that she should endeavor to stay as close to her as possible, as the Nkwo market can be very crazy at times. But Isioma wouldn't listen. She would get carried away admiring beautiful items and therefore stay behind most of the time. At some point, when Adamma stopped to price something else, Isioma quickly stole a very attractive and expensive bead from the neighboring shop and smoothly dropped it in Adamma's shopping bag. The owner of the bead did not notice Isioma's move at first, but before they finished shopping from her neighbor, it hit her. One of her most expensive beads was missing. It should better not be true, she lamented. She looked around her shop, but could not find it. She proceeded to interrogate Isioma as she saw her admiring the bead not too long ago. Isioma became so defensive, asking the woman why she would even ask her such questions at the first place. That she should have asked Adamma, why her? The woman mentioned that she was still going to ask Adamma, but Isioma was the one that she saw standing in front of her shop. She then proceeded to ask Adamma. Adamma responded innocently, Auntie, I did not take anything from your shop. I did not even stop at your shop at all. The woman agreed, but decided to search their bags anyway. On seeing the bead in Adamma's bag, she shouted, Onyoshi, thief! Adamma opened her mouth in awe. In her mind, she knew she was finished. She pleaded innocently, swearing she knew nothing about the bead and how it got into her bag. The woman slapped her immediately, calling her a liar. Isioma, on the other hand, acted so oblivious of the situation and soon joined the market women in shouting, "Thief! Liar!" at Adamma. In no time, a crowd formed around Adamma. "Burn her! Stone her!" they shouted. "Burn her alive!" The crowd was going crazy. They were pushing Adamma around and treating her like a dog. Soon, the market chairman arrived. He managed to quieten the crowd a bit and turned to Adamma, prompting her to speak the truth so that her punishment would not be as grave. But Adamma wasn't going to budge. "How did it now get into your bag if you claim you did not put it there?" he questioned Adamma.
"I honestly do not know. All I know is that I'm innocent, and I would not see any other thing that I'm not sure of,"
she cried. The chairman then decided that Adamma was going to sleep at the village cell and await judgment the next day. Isioma went home happily, relieved that she wasn't caught. She explained to her parents when asked that Adamma stole some things in the market and was almost killed. She proceeded to tell them that if not for her pleading and begging, Adamma would have been dead by now. But mercy was shown to Adamma because of her, and she was given one more day in the cell to come clean before judgment will be passed. This broke Adamma's father. He never thought that a day like that would come. In fact, he did not believe the story at first until he went to meet the chairman himself, who affirmed the story and explained that his hands were tied and he couldn't do anything about the matter, that it was only left for Adamma to speak the truth and stay alive. Adamma couldn't sleep. She stayed awake the whole night, grieving, heartbroken and sad. Many thoughts of what to do crossed her mind. Thoughts of escaping and leaving the village came to mind, but no, she would not allow her name be dented forever for what she knew nothing about. In a few hours' time, it was time for judgment. The village square was filled with people in no time, people that came to witness her persecution. Adamma was asked if she was guilty of the accusation or not, and she pleaded not guilty. She was then asked to provide the person that stole the bead and put in her bag, but she didn't have an answer to that. She was found guilty and therefore sentenced to die by stoning. Suddenly, a thought came to her. She remembered the story Chioma told her kids about Ajana and how it worked. She then fell on the floor and packed some sand with her two hands. Raising it up to the sky with heavy tears and full heart of emotion, she shouted, "Ajana! Ajana! Ajana! I am innocent, and I know my dead mother was innocent and never harmed anybody. If you say you are a God of justice and vindication, let your thunder strike down and kill anybody that has ever caused me undeserving pain since I was a child, up until now. And if I am not innocent, strike me down immediately." She threw the sand back down on the floor, and a new wave of strength enveloped her. There was uttermost silence in the crowd. They didn't know she was going to do something like that. Chioma and her daughters became scared, and immediately they wanted to sneak out, but they couldn't as the crowd didn't give them the space to. 5 minutes later, nothing happened. The crowd was growing impatient and getting their stones ready to fire Adamma when suddenly the sun disappeared. Cloud filled the sky and a heavy downpour came. Thunder struck like never before. Adama was angry. He roared and roared through thunder. There came the loudest 3-in-1 thunder, and that struck down Chioma and her kids. The villagers opened their mouths in shock and soon surrounded them. Chioma began to confess immediately on how she killed Chizoba, her friend, and has maltreated her daughter Adamma ever since then. Isioma confessed stealing the beads, and Okwoma was just an accomplice that was caught up in all the mess. After seeing and hearing all this, Ugo, Adamma's father, fainted immediately. Water was poured on Ugo to resuscitate him, and the villagers kept shouting, "Sophia Aqua! Alo! Sophia Aqua!" They spat. Chioma and her kids had indeed committed a very heavy abomination against Ugo and his family. Adama had taken matters so personally. He was angry and decided not to show them mercy by killing them immediately. Instead, Adama inflicted a very deadly disease on Chioma and her kids, which made the villagers send them out into the evil forest to live out their evil days and die. Ugo and Adama were apologized to by the villagers. Ugo could not forgive himself for all the pain Adama had been through. He blamed himself every day for listening to his mother and marrying Chioma. Adama assured him that she was happy and at peace now that everything was resolved. Ugo swore to never taking another wife and to spend the rest of his days taking care of Adama. Up till this day, Adama is still very much active in the land of Anando, but it doesn't work the way it used to in the olden days. This story teaches us that every pain you are going through has an expiry date. And if you're the one causing pain to people, change your ways because your judgment is coming. I hope you enjoyed this story, and if you did, kindly give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories. Let me know the moral lessons you got